So, I mean, over the years, as you've been involved in different movements, how has your sense of leadership changed and evolved?
It's changed a lot. Leadership's such a fascinating word. You kind of think of the leader as the thumping his chest and out in the front line and pointing everybody in the directions and real clarity. I've always
Yeah,
been really self-conscious about that,
yeah,
right? Because I never thought that I had the ability to truly lead.
yeah,
My approach has always been a lot more hands-off, a lot more, I love you, I see you, I trust you,
right.
and I'm here to support. And I just never knew if that would work. That wasn't the stereotypical leadership role.
Mm,
And it was just honestly really self-conscious about that. I think my ability as a leader and what I've learned is that approach actually works really well, but there are times where we have to be able to step up, where our face is required to be in the spotlight,
mm-hmm.
where our message needs to be in part of the interview or the newspaper
Yeah, yeah,
story.
yeah,
For years, I had made sure that anytime anybody approached us to interview me or us about the work that we were doing, I would always pass the interview opportunity off to somebody else, right? I never wanted to be in the spotlight. And what I've learned is that there are times, seldom and few,
yeah,
where your message is really important,
yeah,
that
yeah,
the people that you are leading need to hear from you in a different way.
yeah,
And again, while rare, if you're growing these movements and these ideas in a really inclusive way, there are
yeah,
times you're going to have to step up and make a really hard decision.
sure.
And I think that's been it's been a beautiful part of the journey, is understanding where I've missed that mark on that, and understanding where how to correct it.
Who planted the seed of a leadership style of, I love you, I see you, I support you? Where did that come from?
I think it came from my parents,
Yeah.
and it's interesting. I have two kids now, so I'm on the other I'm on the other side of that. And parenting is really hard. While they'll
I'm
tell you
I'm
that there's
child free, but I've heard that, and I admire you for raising kids.
yeah, I mean, hard and beautiful at the same time. But my parents never once told us what to do, who to be,
Mm,
or how to live our lives. When we messed up, there was never a sit down lecture of this is how I am as a parent and a human, and this is how you should be. You should follow, and you should,
yeah.
be everything that I tell you to be. They gave us really long leashes. They allowed us to. I fell out of so many trees. I was in the hospital so much that the nurses would send me birthday cards until I was 10 years old, because my parents let me live life,
Right.
right? And they never lectured to us, and I made so many mistakes along the way, Michael.
Mm,
To the point that as I've reflected back, I've gone back to them and say, "Why weren't you guys more present for me? Why didn't you
yeah.
tighten that leash? Why didn't you explain things to me?" And what I realized is that way of leading, of telling
Mm,
people how to be, is the immediate quick fix,
yeah.
but it doesn't solve it for the long term, because it isn't ingrained in your heart. It sticks in your head, but it isn't in your heart.
Yeah.
And this way of leading by example, my dad and my mom are incredible human beings. And what I've learned now as an adult is that just by watching them be who they were as they went through life, shaped who I became, shaped the leadership style that I had, way more than anybody ever kind of lecturing to me. And it's a dance, because now I have kids, and the easiest thing to do is yell and scream. And what the hell? Why did you do that? And don't you know that's not how we are as humans?
Yeah.
And I always catch myself and say, hey, just be.
Hey, it's MBS here. My newsletter is The Works with MBS. Every week I take a key tool, insight, metaphor, and make it an essential distillation so that you can unlock your greatness. If that sounds interesting, sign up at mbs.works.